Viewers, welcome back to the Toffee Takeover, and it's the second season here at Everton, the one that you wanted to see if we made Champions League football, which is exactly what we did. And we're going to be starting this off with the Champions League group stage draw. We're also going to be playing a match versus Arsenal, which I assure you this is going to be the only match that's not Champions League related that we're going to do this season, so don't worry about that. A bit of a news item about the transfer window. I totally forgot that it ended earlier than it normally did. It finished up the 15th of August. Yeah, normally it ends the end of August. We all know this, but it threw me for a loop. Didn't matter in the end because we already finished our transfer doings at that point in time. So let's just start the episode and I'll show you who I got. What's up, peoples? It's Gendo here, and if you're still enjoying the series, please do go and drop it a like. And as I said, the only match that we're going to be playing today is versus Arsenal, but because we're only going to be playing one match, we got a whole slew of other things that we need to talk to on this episode. Of course, the transfers both in and out, the Champions League group stage draw, and of course, we played a couple of matches in the Premier League to start, so we'll get into those as well. But first, we're going to be starting off this with a segment I'd like to call Did We or Didn't We? And the whole purpose of this is I'm going to go down through the checklist that I had at the very end of last season of needs that I needed to make sure that I filled with the squad. And we're going to answer that question with a yes or no of did we or didn't we? So let's get started. First on the list, backup goalkeeper. Did we or didn't we? And the answer to that question is yes, we in fact did get ourselves a backup goalkeeper in the form of Sam Johnstone, formerly of Manchester United. Now, they released him on a free at the end of his contract this year, and the very first day that he was released, I snapped him up ahead of Aston Villa. We're paying him $13,000 a week to be a backup. I'm sure he was fine being a backup because he was a backup for all those years at Manchester United, so he's definitely going to help us out, and he's also going to help our quota out of homegrown players. And going down the checklist, our next item was a backup striker, a secondary striker to Sandro. And did we or didn't we pick one up? And the answer is yes, we in fact did pick up a backup striker in the form of Tammy Abraham. We are loaning him in on a season-long loan from Chelsea, no extra fees and whatnot. We were going to be paying all of his wages, which is £30,000 a week. We can afford it, but I just didn't feel comfortable going out and actually buying a striker to fit in behind Sandro when Sandro is first and foremost the main guy sitting up top, and I don't feel comfortable going to a two-striker front at this point in time. So Tammy Abraham coming in on a loan. The 20-year-old still has time to develop. I'm obviously going to use him in a rotation. The next item up on our checklist is a right side winger, and did we or didn't we pick one up to replace Aaron Lennon? And making it 3 out of 3, yes, we did go and get one in the form of Nathan Dyer. We procured him from Swansea for £450,000, and he's basically exactly the same as Aaron Lennon when it comes to age, when it comes to technical attributes, when it comes to speed. It's just that Nathan Dyer hasn't fallen out of the club like what Aaron Lennon has. So that's why we were able to pick him up, and for pennies, basically at £450,000, I think he's going to be a great rotation option, backup option to Kevin Morales. And the fourth and final option was try and use the rest of the money to pick up a world-class center back, try for Matthias de Ligt, and did we or didn't we? The answer is no, we did not get Matthias de Ligt this time around. We actually made a qualifying offer for him of £28 million, but we were beaten to the mark by Paris Saint-Germain as they offered $65,000 a week with other added incentives. So he is going to Paris Saint-Germain. So my next option would have been throw all of my remaining money at Virgil van Dijk, trying to lure him away from Southampton. Did we? No, in fact, we did not. As much like with de Ligt, we had made a qualifying offer. Southampton accepted a £45 million transfer fee. Much like getting poached by PSG, we were poached by Bayern Munich this time around, as they were able to come in with £150,000 a week plus incentives, and he has opted to go there. So that's two big world-class transfers that I have missed out on due to low contract offers. So my third option was a choice between do I let the money fester in my transfer kitty or do I go out and spend it? Well, the money was burning a hole in my pocket, so I had to go out and spend. And spend I did. Using £10 million of that transfer kitty, I went out to Toulouse and I bought Issa Diop, the 20-year-old center back, of course, doing very well for them right now and can only get better. 13 marking, 13 positioning, 16 tackling, some decent speed and physicals on top of that. We are currently paying him £36,000 a week, which I think is fairly about right for a player of his skill and of his development, and he's definitely going to be slotting into my squad, especially if I use a 5 at the back formation, which I've used for the past couple of matches. So this is the lineup that I set up and basically use it throughout the entirety of the preseason as well as the first two matches of this season. It's a 5 at the back, first time really that I'm using 5 at the back, with 3 center backs, 2 wing backs, 2 center mids, 2 wingers, and of course Sandro sitting up top, or Tammy Abraham depending on fitness issues and whatnot. But yeah, basically with the multitude of center backs that I have at the squad now, I felt like this was the only way to fly to try and get everybody to play. And of course, I also used it in the first 2 matches of the Premier League season, so let's take a look and see how we did with those. As you can clearly see, after 2 matches getting 4 points, it's great and all, but we have not scored a single goal of our own just yet. And the 2 goals that we have scored here, both of them have been credited as own goals. Versus Stoke, we were able to get an own goal at the very death of the match as Nathan Dyer firing a shot off of Kevin Wimmer's face into the goal to level that match up at 1 apiece. And then versus Swansea, Wilfried Bony off of a corner kick. He was marking a post on a corner, should have been credited to Siggy, but instead it bounced off of him and into the back of the net, and it was a 1-0 game at that point in time. I'm surprised that we weren't able to push the issue, maybe because we were being a little bit too defensive, but we were at least able to control the match after getting that goal. But still, not getting a single goal with this formation after 2 matches is a little bit worrying. So with that being said, let's take a look at our Champions League group stage draw, and I believe that Everton are all the way down in the 4th pot, if I'm not quite sure. Yes, Everton are all the way down here in the 4th pot, so we're obviously going to be getting a very rough group for our Champions League side. So let's just draw all other 3 pots and see exactly where we could possibly lie and where we could possibly end up. Okay, so let's just get rid of all the groups with the English ties. So taking a look at the other groups that are not affected, Benfica, Napoli, Monaco, I love that group. I'd more than likely want that group. Maybe even get Group C and get 2nd place out of that group, because yeah, Barcelona's there, but Moscow and Anderlecht, I feel like we can win both of those matches. And then as far as the rest go, Real Madrid, Shakhtar, Lyon, Juventus, Dortmund, Valencia. So more than likely don't want Group F. I'll take A or C. So let's just draw them out. We don't get A. We don't get C. Oh my God. We get Group F. So we get a group of Juventus, Dortmund, and Valencia. Welcome to the Champions League, Everton. Your first ever foray in the Champions League group stage. And you get these guys. What a bollocking we're going to take with that. This 2nd season might be very short, so it might just be these 6 group matches and done, just going forwards. But we'll just have to fight it out. We'll have to see what exactly happens, what goes on, and that's why I'm making a 5-at-the-back formation to try and be as defensive as possible versus these teams. But let's just put that aside now, and let's just focus now on the Premier League with that one final Premier League match that we're going to be doing before we get into these group matches. Let's take on Arsenal at home. Right, so with the match versus Arsenal, we're going to continue on with that same formation, and we're going to use Jordan Pickford in between the sticks. The 3 center backs today will be Leander Dendoncker, Michael Keane, and Alejandro Arribas. The wing backs today will be Jordan Lukaku and Seamus Coleman. The 2 center mids will be Idrissa Gana Gueye as well as Ross Barkley. The wingers will be Yannick Bolasie on the left, Kevin Morales on the right, and Sandro sitting up top. As I said before, the whole thought process behind this formation was to try and be as defensive-minded as well as launch counterattacks when we can do that. And against a team like Arsenal, we're going to need to do both. And just taking a look at their squad, they have Mesut Ozil still there. I think they got rid of Alexis Sanchez in the offseason. They got Wilshere and Xhaka on there, Monreal, Koscielny, Smalling. Oh, they got Chris Smalling now. And Hector Bellerin, and they got David Ospina down there in net. I'm surprised that Czech's not down there, but maybe he got sold off as well. As I said before, I'm not really too keen on how this formation doesn't allow a lot of shots on goal, or doesn't allow a lot of shots in general. But as you see right there, Morales with a free kick almost getting into the back of the net. It just was going to take some time, and we're doing it in the offseason. We're especially doing it against a team like Benfica. We played Benfica in the offseason, but yeah, that's offseason, and this is regular season, so it's not going to have the same effect. 38 minutes on the clock now, ball out to Morales, gets it to Koeman, through to Morales, got a couple blue shirts in the box, taking a crack. Oh, and Ospina making a save, spilling it in front of net, but no blue shirt was there to get around it. Could have had a nice little opening goal there if we only had somebody there. And we could have somebody here right before halftime. Jordan Lukaku inside to Bolasie, slips it through to Ghana. Oh, Ghana, he had it. Really should not have been the guy to take that shot. He had Sandro running right alongside him. He should have let it go, let Sandro take it. But instead, he fires it wide as we go to halftime, 0-0. And we're roughly even in everything, in all honesty. I feel that this team is roughly even in terms of ability with Arsenal right now. Shots-wise, not so much, as Arsenal have had 7 shots, none of them on targets. Well, we haven't had a single shot on target either, but It's all, relative. That's what it is. And we've also not had the majority possession either. So I guess we're doing our part in being defensive enough to not allow Arsenal to take shots on goal. Corner kick, Ross Barkley gets it on the hour mark. Sandro! Oh, he was running free. Sandro was so wide open, but that header clangs off the crossbar. Oh, that was a wide open shot. You can't get any more wide open than that. And how he missed it, I have no idea. 68 minutes on the clock now. We have the ball once again. Well, I said we have the ball. We actually don't have the ball anymore, as Arsenal have it and are coming forth on an attack of their own. Bellerin getting a cross in, but Pickford there with the save. The way things are going right now with the situation up front, I may actually give Tammy Abraham a little bit of minutes. But it's all come down to what exactly is going on here, and we have just been absolutely shocking at the bat. Mesut Ozil inside to the... And the game is just trolling me at this point in time because they allowed Jack Wilshere to score a goal in the first place. It's 1-0 to Arsenal after I have no idea what this was going on in the middle over here. Some shocking passing. And then the defense just not even coming back to defend. Do their job. And they didn't do their job. That's a problem. Free kick for Arsenal now, 3 minutes after they scored that goal. And now here they come. Bernard taking another crack, and it goes over the bar. And as I said before, maybe this formation still needs a lot of tweaking because against a team like Swansea, yeah, we can eke out a goal with an own goal, but against a team like Arsenal, we're still getting overrun, it looks like, in the middle of the park. Bernard now on the ball inside to Lacazette. It's Jack Wilshere again. This game is definitely trolling me now because Jack Wilshere scoring 2 goals in real life is just unrealistic. Jack Wilshere scoring 2 goals at all in a season is unrealistic. And here it happens. He sets that entire goal up, too. Gets it out to Bernard, who it falls to Lacazette. Lacazette takes a shot. Pickford with the initial save, but then falls to Wilshere. And it's 2-0 to Arsenal. It's 2-0 to Jack Wilshere. Fuck off, Jack Wilshere. So we don't really spend a lot of money. We don't really go after a lot of big-name players. And, well, this is the result. It's basically par for the course versus Arsenal. Losing to Arsenal. 2-0 at home. Yeah, we did not have a single shot on target. So let me get this straight. So 3 straight matches, and we have not had a single goal scored of our own. We barely have had a single shot on target in all 3 of those matches, yet we somehow have 4 points in those 3. I'm not saying that we're lucky, but we're definitely fucking lucky when it comes to this. So we need to have a formation change, a complete formation change, and having all of those center backs that I picked up and hoping that center back could have been a difference maker. Clearly that's not the case. Center back definitely not the difference maker on this squad. It definitely had to have been a center mid, maybe even a better winger than Nathan Dyer, or maybe I do need to go to a 2-striker front and use Sandro and Tammy Abraham. I'll have to figure something out because right now, this ain't kosher. So next time around, it's actually going to be a short turnaround as we're going to be playing Dortmund in our first Champions League match. And from here on out, it's all going to be short episodes, 1 matches, and get going. So guys, I hope you did enjoy the episode. And if you did, please do go and drop it a like, share with all your friends, and subscribe if you are new. If you want to leave a comment on what you saw today, if you also want to yell at me for the transfers and what I should or should not have done, please go and do so in the comment box below. But as always, guys, I've been Gendo, and you have been awesome. And I'll see you next time. Take care, and peace out.